Happy fall, y'all! Nothing says fall like pumpkin treats, and my favorite pumpkin treat is pumpkin bundt cake. It is delicious and festive, and it kind of looks like a pumpkin.
Hey, what's big, orange, and round and still glows with a frown? A jack-o'-lantern!
Hey, that's a good one, Patches. Now on to the cake. You will need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of pumpkin puree, oil, sugar, cinnamon, salt, and baking powder. You will also need 4 eggs and nonstick spray with flour already built in. We need to preheat our oven to 355 degrees. Now we're going to prep our pan. You're going to need a bundt pan and our spray. Get it good and coated. You do not want this to stick at all. Should look something like this when you're done. Now we're going to start on our cake. You're going to take 4 eggs and crack them into our bowl. Now we're going to add our oil. Mix that as well. Now let's set that aside and work on our dry ingredients. Take your flour, your baking powder, your salt, and your cinnamon, and put them all in the bowl. So cinnamon, baking powder, and salt. Now we're going to whisk these together. So that you evenly distribute it throughout the flour mixture. If you have a sifter, you could use one of those as well. Now back to the wet ingredients. We're going to take our pumpkin and we're going to add it to our eggs. It should be well combined like that when it's done. Now we're going to take our dry ingredients we have left, our sugar and our flour mixture, and add it into the pumpkin egg mixture. I'm going to start with the flour. Try to work out as many of the lumps as you can, if there are lumps. All right, that looks good. Let's add the sugar. Now we're going to take our prep bundt pan and put our batter in it. You want to try to evenly distribute it around the pan. Once we get the bundt pan filled, one of my tricks I use to get the air bubbles out of the pan is I'm going to lightly tap it on the counter a few times. This will help keep air pockets from forming while baking. And now she's ready to pop in the oven for 35 minutes to 45 minutes, depending on how long it takes it to bake for you. You'll know it's done when you can stick a toothpick into the center and it comes out clean. So I just took our bundt cake out of the oven. There's a little toothpick trick. Nice and clean, so we're done. So now I'm going to take this and put it on a pan.
Oh, I can't wait to get some of that pumpkin-y goodness. It smells great already.
I like to put it on top and then flip. Voila! Isn't it pretty? Now we got to let it completely cool off, and then we'll put a glaze on it. Now, onto the glaze. It is vanilla glaze. We will need 2 cups of powdered sugar, 3/4 cup of melted butter, a little bit of water, and vanilla. So now we're going to take our powdered sugar and we're going to pour our melted butter into the powdered sugar. Then we're going to add the vanilla. And we're going to mix that. It's going to be a little thick, little kind of not fully mixed together, and that's fine. We're going to take some water. And it helps to thicken up our glaze. It'll look like a paste kind of to begin with. Add a little more water. And it'll eventually start turning into a syrupy cream. And you just keep adding a little water at a time. Until we get it how we want it. See how it's starting to cream up? It's a little thick, but see how it's getting creamier? I think just a little bit more water and we'll have it. Beautiful. See how we got this consistency right here? That's perfect. That's exactly what you're looking for. All right, now let's glaze the cake. I like to take a spoonful at a time. I just kind of let it fall wherever it wants to, trying to keep it centered. And then I just let gravity kind of let it fall, trying to keep it centered so that it'll go every which way. I let gravity do the work for me.
Wow, it's so pumptastic.
Now my favorite part. Can't wait to get me a slice. It looks beautiful. It smells good. Let's give it a taste. So good. So spicy and pumpkin-y. And the glaze just puts the icing on the cake. No pun intended. No wonder it's one of my favorites. You gotta try this and make it one of your family's favorites too. Before I get too involved stuffing my face with my cake, quick note, you can also use cream cheese icing on this if you prefer it instead of vanilla glaze.